up, everybody? Welcome into Tom Curran's Patriots Talk podcast. We got a Thursday pod here, and we're going to get into the Buffalo Bills matchup. We got some irrelevant questions with one Morgan Moses. We also have a bone to pick. Phil Perry starting a fight with me in the Patriots locker room on Wednesday. We're going to get to the bottom of that and see just why he was so agitated with his friend Tom. Also, we're going to give you a trivia question and a poll. Yeah, I'm basically lifting a lot of the quick slants plan from today. And you know why? Because it's a good show. It's been on for 16 years, and there's a lot of good meat on the bone there. So you get to see it played out here. But first things first, Phil, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Better than yesterday, hopefully?
A little bit leery of the treatment I'm going to get here for the next 15 to 20 minutes. To bring you folks up to date, I do irrelevant questions on the... you going to do that with the feet the whole time? I do irrelevant questions on Wednesday, so I need to plan ahead and talk to Morgan Moses. So I get into the locker room, and Stephon Diggs is already talking, and there's a massive cloud of people around him. It was a cloud. Phil, being a taller fellow, was on the outside. So I sidled up to him with a stench of coffee on my breath. Said, "Hey, anybody ask him about him and Sean Howard yet?" And Phil went, "Yeah, I think so." Okay. Hey.
Yeah, there was more.
Did anybody ask him about home field yet? Phil said, "Yeah, no. So I went over to the other side of the thing, and now I'm suddenly in Kyle Williams' area. So I started saying to Kyle, "Hey, sorry I'm in your area. Can't get into close enough to ask him anything about home field." So I'm just clouding up the whole area with bad breath. Finally wander away because I'm not getting anything in. I can't hear Stephon Diggs. So when Phil's done, I go up to Phil and I say, "Hey, so what did he say?" Phil, pick it up from there.
That was basically it. You went full Harry Carey for like a half an hour in the Patriots locker room, and it was really gross and just hard to be around. And I eventually said, you could have just hung out in there and just stuck your microphone in there and just listened to it yourself. You could have done that. And then I turned around and I walked away and I went to go do more work.
I think the word accosted was used.
I felt like there was maybe even a finger involved.
No.
I felt like you were poking me in the chest. Hey, what about this? And how about that? And meanwhile, I saw you just talking to the Patriots PR for like 20 minutes, just right there in the middle. You could have sat right next to me and listened. You could have heard everything I heard. Asked the same questions I asked. Would have been fine.
Locker room Phil is a different kind of Phil because locker room Phil is getting business done Phil. Locker room Phil understands there's a lot of people in there. He wants to talk to a lot of people. There's a lot of people during media time treated as their mayoral duties. They're just walking around, towel snapping. What's going on? How you been? How's your golf game?
Towel snapping. Nobody's towel snapping.
I'm towel snapping.
That. No, you're not.
Well, no, I'm not literally towel snapping.
That's what I'm saying. Don't say that. People take it literally.
Yeah, but towel snapping is just, rolled up towel. It's not bad.
Yeah, but I think that sounds unprofessional.
Suggestive. Oh, well, look.
You're saying metaphorical towel snap.
Yeah. I'm not walking around with a wet towel snapping it off of the hindquarters of Christian Barmore.
Don't tell me. I know. You tell them.
Over the years, the yield from the locker room has been winnowed down for me. But for Phil and the type of coverage that he provides, he still needs the locker room. So I was up in his grill trying to ask him stuff that I could use for quick slants and irrelevant questions and things like that.
There was some good stuff in there. Good stuff on home field. Good stuff on Josh Allen.
All right, enough of that. Thank you, everyone, for bearing with us. I think we're on good ground. Patriots fighting up. Hi. Did he talk about home field? And I know when my breath isn't great because my brother and I have identical breath, and sometimes his breath is eyebrow igniting. Patriots are fighting up in class this week, and Phil, I contend that this is the perfect week to see the Bills because you have seen 2 weeks ago just how well you can play offensively, and if you make little slip-ups, you will lose the game, and then they've seen, hey, if we just play clean, we're a 36-point victor. So it shows them you can be careful and play well and be competitive or dominant if you have the right opponent. And you can also make mistakes, try to make a play, and screw things up drastically. So I think this was good prep the last 2 weeks. And I just said this on EEI. I think all 4 weeks have been very good prep for the Patriots. They saw a veteran quarterback in week 1, didn't take care of business completely. We're not crisp, lose the game. Week 2, they saw a couple good, talented receivers, went on the road in the heat, dealt with some elements. Drake Maye played great. They won the game on the road despite some mistakes. I could go on, but you get the point. Mm-hmm. They've seen every stripe. Now this is a perfect time to play. It's almost like a college, a major college program. Play some ass teams early, then you get ready and you go in and you play that good team.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's a good comp. Maybe the one thing they haven't seen yet is a truly elite quarterback, and they'll see that this week. Obviously, they'll see the best in the game, in my opinion, in Josh Allen. And so they've got their weaknesses, which we know. Some of those weaknesses are of the self-inflicted variety. And I think, Tom, if they can avoid those, this will be a close game. And it should be. I have long been, since projecting them for 9 wins before the season, somebody who's felt like we can hold this team. It's time. It's time. Mm-hmm. It shouldn't be every year that we're expecting them to be at the bottom of the league. They have more than enough talent. It's not the most talented team we've ever seen, but they have more than enough talent to compete with teams even like the Bills, even on the road, even on Sunday night. So that's what I would expect them to do.
And this is where you want to be if you're the Patriots. Where else would you want to be rather than right here, right now? Huh? Here's Mike Vrabel talking about exactly that Wednesday during his press conference.
Well, I think if you want to get to where you want to get to, I think you certainly better enjoy it. Better enjoy playing in primetime games, and that's something that we're trying to prepare for right now. And so I think that certainly it'll be a huge challenge. The last time they lost at home was 14 games ago. We're well aware of that and have to do a lot of really good things to give ourselves a chance.
We had this discussion beginning last Sunday right after the game ended because we weren't going to spend all day on the friggin' Panthers game. This is ripe for a moral victory. This is ripe for hey, we gave it the old college try, or we're closing in on decent, or you can use some kind. Look, I actually said this, and I'm going to say it again on Sunday during pregame. It's almost more important to me to see Drake Maye play a crisp, efficient, tidy game without some kind of mind-numbing mistake like he had last year in the Buffalo game that they could have won when he threw the ball backwards, like he did against Pittsburgh, like he did against Vegas. It's almost more important for me to see that Drake Maye, bubble in my throat, is capable of that. I'm going to let it play out. Is capable of that. And it's great.
Still there.
And I'm going to let it play. It's almost more important for me to see that play out for Drake Maye than it is for them to win the game. I know they can win games. Can Drake Maye play against a quality opponent on the road when it's hostile and have a seamless, responsible game?
I think that's a fair take by you, but I also want to point out it's highly unlikely that he strings together, especially against really good teams, games where he is flawless.
He can have a pick.
We have been spoiled. Okay.
You can have a flawless game with a pick.
Okay. That doesn't sound flawless to me, but explain.
You can have a pick that gets, bounces off
deflection.
Stephen Ridley's helmet.
Okay.
It was a good read. If he's...
Keyshawn Booty hits him in the hands, he floats it up into the air, gets picked up.
Yeah, mortal sins are, he's going out of bounds and he decides he sees somebody and he throws it at him hard and it bounces off and turns into a pick. That's stupid. If he had other recourse other than the play that he made, then, okay. How's that?
I still think...
We should be asking more?
No, I think it's asking a little too much, quite frankly. I think he's in his second season still. He's 23 years old. Tom Brady was 23 years old in 2000. Wasn't even playing games yet.
You know that the draft age is 18. You can be drafted into the armed services back in the day.
I did know that. Yeah.
Okay.
So he's an adult.
He's 23.
He's an adult. Yeah. He's a grown-up. I agree.
He could be a general by
He's
now.
just relatively inexperienced. And, the guy he's playing this week in his second year made those kind of mortal sins on a regular basis every single week. And by the end of the year, people were, I think, in some ways right to believe that at that moment in time, if you took a snapshot right there at the end of year 2, not the start, the end of year 2, he was one of the worst starters in the NFL. So I think you have to be okay. I need Tom to embrace the fact and come to grips with the fact that he's going to see more stupidity.
I know.
And that's okay.
But that's why I said I'd be happier with that performance than a win if I was a Patriots fan. Or I would be more surprised if Drake Maye had a seamless game. And I think that would be more optimism building if you're a Patriots fan than to see the Patriots go up there and win because of 2 punt returns, a strip sack fumble, something weird.
Yeah.
And they end up with more points. And Drake Maye goes 15 for 30 for 157 and a touchdown. I would rather see that. It would be hard evidence of what they could be. So that's what I'm saying. I do expect there's plenty more mind-numbing decisions from him. And he's amassed far more impressive games and really good decisions. He's far ahead of the arc, I think, right now. And I do tend to give the credit to the line and to McDaniels, not all to May, and I think most people would, but I kind of start with them. But I give him a shit ton of credit. He's a good player.
You should.
He's a very good passer. He's a top 15 quarterback. And he could be a top 10 passer. He's arriving ahead of schedule. And if you want to see the measures that I have and the charts that I have to explain it, I don't have any.
Passers on the x-axis, quarterbacks on the y-axis, or vice versa. I know what you're saying. Even if that happened, even if he played a flawless game, would you look at that and say, "Oh, now he's arrived. Now he's there"? Would.
I might.
I just am assuming
because that would be 3 out of 5.
I'm trying to be realistic with the guy, and it would be 3 out of 5. That would be insane. He's already some of these stats, Tom, are kind of mind blowing.
No, but he's compiled.
He's doing things that people don't do.
He's compiled stats in games in which he crashes the car going into the garage.
No, but 2 of the last 3, he's played almost flawless football.
Yeah, I agree.
And that is really rare, is what I'm saying. So he's had 3 games in a row where he's completed 75% of his passes and had 2 touchdowns.
Every other week he does something stupid, so he's due this week. That's what I'm saying. That's why it would be a huge victory, a massive victory for Drake Maye to play really well in Buffalo.
I think it's strong.
More enthusiasm inspiring than anything else.
I think your definition of stupid is a little over the top, and it's
hyperbolic.
It's a little hyperbolic, and I think part of it is, and I feel the same way. Although you watched more of them than I did, certainly, when it came to up close and personal. Tom Brady played a certain brand of football, and we all watched it and enjoyed it, and our audience knows that better than anybody. It's the stupidity that you speak of happens every week with every quarterback, young and old. Every single one. There is not a quarterback in the NFL outside of maybe Josh Allen who does not perform the kind of stupidity that you speak of on a almost weekly basis.
I think I'm unfair to call the Raiders game stupid. How's that? You're not stupid if you throw high to Demario Douglas.
It's a physical mistake, not a mental mistake.
Yeah. That's not stupid. That's unfair.
But like Patrick Mahomes did a stupid thing the other day, and then he saved the day.
Yes.
He's the best quarterback on the planet, maybe.
I know.
But he's going to do stupid things almost every week. He is,
but I also have a litany of examples where he has had virtually perfect games against excellent teams, so I know he can do it. That's why I need to see it.
I just think part of the reason Patrick Mahomes is special,
going to do it,
and I think part of the reason Drake Maye will be special eventually, is that they are so good, they can overcome their quote-unquote stupid or their mistakes because of the talent that they have and the poise and the mental toughness and all that other stuff that goes into it. They're going to screw up. So do you have what it takes to be better than that moment?
Yep. And he doesn't have it yet. everything that I'm saying is attaching a yet. So to me, Mahomes has done that time and time again, and we could say he's won games where he wasn't perfect. Can you make enough plays to overcome your dumbness?
Right.
He wasn't able to do that against the Raiders, and I did not like the pick at the beginning of the second half. No one does. He could have had 4 picks against the Steelers. He ended up with 1 and a bad fumble. He also had a fumble in the Raiders game that I think back that was unforced. So that's what I'm talking about. They're going to go away.
Not entirely.
But they're going to go, okay. He's going to have games where he overcomes mistakes that he makes. He's going to have games where he throws for 400 yards. He's going to have games where he throws for 5 touchdowns. He's going to be a really good quarterback. If he does it this week and plays a particular way and the Patriots win at Buffalo against a 4-0 team that knows the Patriots are coming, they're not sneaking up on them like a Mac Jones team. You know, they're coming in through the front door, kind of. Then that's a huge step. It's a bigger step than
winning ugly.
Yeah.
Even would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm driving at. And,
Yeah.
and every time I say something about Drake Maye, I said on EEI today, there's still a dark side to him. The dumbness isn't cured. And I guess there's no vaccine. But we talk so much about these quarterbacks, and I'm talking myself in circles here a little bit. Once he starts doing, that's the last. It's not the last. It's the next mountain to conquer and plant his flag on. I played good on the road, and I won the game against a team that's better than us because of me.
I think the guy they're playing against this week it's a really difficult path to carve up the mountain. And he experienced more adversity early in his career, I think, just in terms of his own play and his own mistakes and his own rawness, Josh Allen, than Drake Maye. Where Drake Maye's at now through 4 games in his second year is quite frankly way ahead of where Josh Allen was.
Let's roll some Mike Vrabel from Wednesday as well, talking about the maturation of Josh Allen that he has seen. Very good when you look at it in context of where Drake Maye is.
Well, I mean, I think he realized that he's got immense talent, and I think he has done a much better job of taking care of the football. And really, that's been the big difference for me, just watching it from afar. A few years ago, he was forcing things in the red zone, and that led to some turnovers, some interceptions, and now I think he just has a greater understanding of, taking care of the football in those situations, and they're still scoring touchdowns.
So he went from a bad passer to a better passer who still made mistakes but had these crazy explosive plays that allowed him to overcome his mistakes and allowed his team to still win games, to now, I think even this year, and it's only 4 games, so we'll see, but I think this year relative to last year, you're seeing a much different player. Smart, veteran, composed, conservative even by some measures. His average depth of target is 2 full yards less this year than it was last year. So he's throwing shorter, but he's throwing more accurately. He's on pace for a career low in terms of interceptions and turnover-worthy plays. And so he still has that otherworldly physical ability, which Drake Maye may never get to. I mean, Josh Allen might be the most physically talented quarterback we've ever seen. Michael Vick. He's somewhere.
He's very reminiscent of Elway.
Elway, yeah, like the rare physically. But he's playing the position like a supercomputer. So it's the best of both worlds. So that's going to take years. Allen's in his 7th year now, 8th year. So it's going to take a long time for Drake Maye to get to, wow, the stupidity's gone, and now we're still getting the explosive plays and the get on my back, boys type of on-field approach.
Is he ahead of the curve for where Josh Allen was in his second year?
Definitely. I think even just by some of the most basic measures, it's really not that close. Josh Allen, by the end of his second year, was 26th in EPA per play and 27th in success rate. Right now, through 4 games, Drake Maye is 4th and 7th in those categories. And the completion percentage is, I think, about 20 points higher or almost 20 points higher. The quarterback rating, I believe, is 25 points higher for Drake Maye than it was at this stage for Josh Allen. So as far as passing, Maye is beyond where Allen was. You might be able to argue, we'd have to go back and look at the roster. You might be able to argue that Maye's got better pieces around him now than than Allen did then. Mm-hmm. I think he had Cole Beasley in his second year. He didn't yet have Stephon Diggs, and that's when he really took off. But that Buffalo team, you said this before, Tom, that Buffalo team that Josh Allen joined was not half bad.
Nope.
Better than what the Patriots have been the last few years.
EPA, people can have different numbers, right? My guy,
yes. There are some different, different
right
ways
there,
of measuring it.
Kevin Cole from Unexpected Points, he has EPA. He is sixth, Maye is.
Okay.
Adjusted EPA. Only Prescott, Goff, Daniel Jones, Josh Allen, and Jordan Love are ahead of him. When you look at the grid, where is he losing points in adjusted EPA? He's been victimized the second most in the NFL, according to Kevin Cole, Unexpected Points. He's been victimized the second most in terms of points lost on drops, and the sixth most on his own interceptions. So
interesting. The number 4 ranking for Maye in EPA might be EPA per dropback.
Okay.
And not overall EPA. So there's some different nuances to that.
This is adjusted EPA.
Okay.
But he's ahead of the curve.
Be that as it may, he is. And Allen, you could say Maye was probably more NFL ready than Allen was coming out of Wyoming.
Good point.
And even though he didn't play with a ton of NFL talent, he played with more NFL talent than Josh Allen did at Wyoming. Josh Allen, I think, also played, I have to go back and check. Didn't he also play like 7-man football in high school in Wyoming, or in California, wherever he was from? They didn't even have, I don't think, 11 on 11. So he's the definition of raw and a ball of clay by the time he got to the league.
But I think it's a great conversation, and we're being a little too, prior to this big game, a little too quarterback oriented. So let's veer a little bit now and ask the question: how do the Patriots stop Jimmy Cook in his 5.4 yards per carry average?
Well, they're going to need Milton Williams on the field, and let's see what his availability is late in the week, because he missed Thursday's practice. He was limited on Wednesday with an ankle issue, then out entirely for Thursday. I think he's been dynamite in the middle. Better against the pass than the run, but that's going to be a big factor as to how well they're able to perform up front. I look at this linebacking core, Tom, and I say this is, you talk about a test and a gauge and sort of a watershed moment for finding out where you're at. How they stop the run, it's been good statistically so far. I think they're going to get just a different test this week. That Buffalo line is huge.
Yep.
They can lean on you. Cook is dynamic. You also have to worry about Allen's legs, and so, that's a factor. They're going to play with the quarterback run game, and so those guys on the edge are going to have to be disciplined and not able to crash down on James Cook at times when maybe they will want to. So you got to be really disciplined. This is going to be a big test for Vrabel. He's working without his defensive coordinator, the guy that he wanted to be leading his defense, and Terrell Williams. So Vrabel and Zach Core, what do they have dialed up for Josh Allen? It seems like an almost impossible task, because this offense, even though they're not loaded with star talent, it's just such a juggernaut. It's going to feel like anytime they come off the field with 3 or less is going to feel like a victory.
And that leads perfectly into the beginning of the game. And the beginning of the game so far for the Bills on their first 2 possessions so far this year. Against the Ravens, touchdown punt. Against the Jets, touchdown field goal. Against the Dolphins, touchdown. Against the Saints, touchdown. Patriots defensively so far this season: Raiders, touchdown pick. Dolphins, punt, touchdown. Steelers, touchdown. Panthers, touchdown punt. So the Patriots been permissive. The Bills are really good at the beginning of the game. They can't really afford to start touchdown if they're not answering. And they probably would prefer not to start touchdown yet again. So slow starts, and the Patriots are a -3 in turnover differential right now. And the Bills, I want to call them the Jets, are +3 in turnover. So there's a 6.6 6 is the span between the two teams.
The guy that I would be looking at if again, you're trying to find this path to competing and making this a one-score game. When the Bills' offense is on the field, for me, that player is Christian Barmore. Barmore has been really good, even though he's not racking up a bunch of sacks. He's tied for the lead among interior defensive linemen with Jeffrey Simmons, who's one of the best players in the NFL, with 15 pressures, and he's going against a couple of guards that are not necessarily world beaters. Osiris Torrance is the name that I have circled this week. He's allowed 8 pressures in 4 games and a sack, and I feel like if that's a matchup that the Patriots can somehow manipulate to get Barmore one-on-ones in the run or the pass games, he could be the kind of player in this game that makes a play or two that changes the game and keeps it close.
Meanwhile, I hope you guys like the pacing. I'm trying to be a little quicker here. Next topic, and we have a trivia question, folks.
Oh.
Tom Brady played against the Bills 36 times in his career. His career record against the Bills was, choose one, 26-10, 30-6, 33-3. Phil, you have 10 seconds to deliver your answer.
I'm going to go with C, 33-3.
I'm letting the folks out there think about it.
Jeopardy music.
I just have a growling stomach over here. Can you hear it?
I did hear that.
33-3 was Tom Brady against the Buffalo Bills. He went 33-3 with 72 touchdowns, 32 picks, and 9,032 yards of passing.
That just sounds
against
ridiculous.
the Bills. His 72 touchdowns is would put him 149th on the all-time touchdown list, tied with Colin Kaepernick.
Isn't 33-3? Doesn't that sound amazing? Because it felt like, especially towards the end of his career, that Sean McDermott actually had a pretty good beat on how to play Brady and McDaniels.
He bugged him.
He did, but he was only there, I guess, he was there. McDermott became coach in 2017, so he got 3 years. He got 6 of those matchups against Brady. So it wasn't a huge sample size, but I felt like in recent years, in the late Brady stages, they did a halfway decent job against that guy.
I have another fun thing before we bring in Morgan Moses' irrelevant question. Quick slants poll. After the Bills, the Patriots have 8 games and then they're bye. They face the Saints, Titans, Browns, Falcons, Bucks, Jets, Bengals, and Giants.
Oof.
The combined record of those teams, 8-23. The question posed for the poll, will the Patriots be a playoff team? 65.5% of respondents said yes, 632 votes. No playoffs. 34.5% of the votes. Some of the engagement we got. Our pal Curran, yes, if they take care of business, play smart football, and beat the teams they're supposed to beat. But you know what can happen on any given Sunday. Yes, because of May, from Silverback 82804. Yes, because of May. Who you still won't give full credit to. Johnny Foxborough. Given the state of the AFC, a disciplined, well-coached team with mediocre talent will likely make the playoffs. My hope is if Vrabel gets his team there, X factor is May. Buzz NFL News. If they don't make the playoffs, it's an organizational failure. Don Martin chipping in with way too early to tell. We know that. Can we just enjoy a nice win and be excited about a good game without evaluating the long-term plan? Maybe it's just me. Well, 2 people liked your tweet. So not just you. Spacca. That's Mark Spacco. Said, playoffs? Playoffs? Talk about playoffs. Are you kidding me? Playoffs? Let's just see if they can stack some wins before we start talking playoffs. We also have a guy use the entire playoffs thing. He has them at a record of 7-10, with losing to the Bills, beating the Saints and Titans, losing to the Browns and Falcons, and the Buccaneers, a 3-game skid. And then the Bengals they lose to as well, and the Giants. So they're 6-7 at the bye. Phil, are they making the playoffs?
They've got a shot. They've got a shot. I can't listen. Let's talk this out. Ready?
Okay.
Bills win the East. Ravens win the North, even though they're starting 1-3. How do you feel about that?
That's fine.
Okay.
So they have a Steelers head-to-head.
Chiefs win the West.
Chargers might.
Chargers might. Let's give it to the Chiefs.
Okay.
And somebody's got to win the South. I'll give it to the Colts for now. You just mentioned the Steelers. That feels like a wild card team. And the Chargers, who you also just mentioned. That's another wild card team. There's one spot left. So you're competing with definitely those wild card teams I mentioned. I'm not in love with the Steelers. I don't think they're a great team. The Ravens, who knows? If Lamar misses a bunch of time, he's already banged up. That could be a problem for them. You're competing with
Denver.
Those teams. You're also competing with Denver. I left them off. They should probably be ahead of the Steelers even in this wild card conversation. To the Texans, whose defense is really, really good, but their offense is struggling. Did they somehow sneak in if they can figure it out on that side of the ball? It's just, they're in the mix. They're in the mix. I can't say with a lot of confidence that they'll be in. I still feel they're a 9-ish win team, and I don't think 9's going to be enough to get you in. I think you got to get to 10.
Well, I ask you this. Can't we just enjoy a nice win and be excited about a good game without evaluating the long-term plan, Phil? Maybe it's just me.
That doesn't sound like you at all.
It's Don Martin. All right, everybody. Morgan Moses, Irrelevant Questions coming right at you. Make sure you check out the next Pat's Podcast guest.
Stevie Palazzolo.
Our pal. All right, enjoy Morgan Moses. We'll see you Sunday. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've been looking forward to this since he got here. It's Morgan Moses, Patriots right tackle, one of the most fun, inspirational, motivational guys on the team. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing good, man.
First question I got for you. These are irrelevant questions.
Okay.
So could you tell me some unique ways in which being a large man is difficult that people might not have even thought of?
Oh, man, there's a lot of things, man. I'll start with number one, man. Can't go to the mall and shop at stores because they don't carry extra long pants or big shirts. And I would say trying to find a vehicle to ride in, you know? You ever been in an Uber? You order an Uber, and they got the seat all the way back, and you got to sit sideways, and your legs go numb.
Looking like Bugs Bunny.
Exactly.
So, you know what else I thought of? Door frames and toilets.
I'll tell you a funny story.
I mean, it's a long way down.
When I first got here and I was going, house shopping and stuff, I walked into this one house and I nailed my head on the front door walking through.
We're right out.
I was like, yeah, this is not for me. This is not for me.
What was the worst head injury you ever had from banging into something? Chandelier's got to be tough.
Dude, yeah, that's wicked. That's wicked. And I got the bald head too, so you can't leave marks, man. It just looks ugly. It looks ugly. You got to put makeup on it.
Do you understand that you're closing in on 10,000 NFL snaps?
Dang.
I did my research.
I didn't even know that. I didn't. Yeah, that's
10,000.
That's a blessing.
It is, huh?
That's a blessing for sure.
When you came to the league, third round pick out of Virginia, 66th overall. What were your aspirations for an NFL career?
Oh man, I was really just happy to be there, man. I worked my butt off to get there all my life, and I had the opportunity. My rookie year didn't go the way I wanted to go. I had Liz Frank my rookie year, but I got to play with some awesome guys, man. I got to play with Ryan Kerrigan, Kirk Cousins, the best left tackle in the league, Trent Williams, and it just molded myself into what I am today.
That season, those guys you mentioned, Trent Williams in particular, is now, with the Niners. How did they shape your leadership style, which can only be summarized by, holy crap, this guy's good?
Well, I had a hard moment with Trent because I was obviously, behind him as a young rookie, and I was like trying to model my game after him. And I was like, he did something one day, and I was like, I'm gonna go try that. And I almost tore my ACL, and I was like, yo, some things are just like, some people are just blessed more than others. But just being able to pick his brain and obviously on and off the field, man, I got to learn a lot.
Where did you develop your leadership style? Because the first time we met you was at the podium in March, and you were just so succinct and clean and directed with your message.
You might know this guy. My great grandfather, Moses, right? Part of the Red Sea, right? And so, I have a lot of lineage in my my family of just being leaders, man. And but honestly, man, just I had to throw that loop in there for you.
I like it. Nah, see, you didn't know. I'm like, oh yeah, that Moses. Then I'm like,
yeah, he part of the
maybe
Red
he
Sea,
is.
and that's why that's why I'm able to do what I do on the football
Right
field.
down
you know,
the middle.
But no, I've just been blessed, man, just to be around a lot of great people, man, a lot of great, football players coming up. And I think just a little bit of just how I grew up, man, just, kind of being on my own for a long period of time and just seeing things. And obviously it's trial and error, right? Like some things go well and some things don't go well. But you just pick yourself up and you keep on moving and just trying to be an inspiration to the guys and understand that, like, hey, like, especially if I can do it at year 12, man, the young guys and bringing them along and stuff like that, man, they can do it as well. So it's been a blessing because I learned just as much as they learned from me, I learned from them as well. So,
What do you mean being on your own? This now feels like a relevant question.
no, it's I just I was on my own since I was like 15. So I learned a lot. I learned a lot of things and it shaped me who I am today. And it's the reason I'm the father I am today is just to give back to my boys and just be there. But this locker room is always special, man. It brings many family members, many brothers and things like that. And so it's just been a blessing, man. Like, you don't get the opportunity to have that locker room when you leave. When it's done, you'll never walk into another room there's people that's carrying and understands what you do day and out. So I just believe passing the torch down and being there for the guys, and especially like the younger guys like Will and Jared and Marcus Bryant, and just letting them show them the way.
You get your own little locker room forming. There's 3 Moses boys, close in age, very close in age. So you get your locker room developing. How do you deal with those guys at the age of 34? Is there a red light sauna at all involved in your backstory?
No, they get in the hot tub, cold tub with me, man. They do it all, man. It's been a blessing, man, to be able to raise boys, man, because they're 3 different individual people, and you have to, as a parent, man, they're growing every day, man. Like my 10-year-old is in a size 10.5 men's shoe right now. He's killing me right now. But I learned from them, man. From the emotional standpoint and just physical standpoint, and just being able to teach each one of them in different ways and be there for them, man. It's allowed me to grow on and off the field as a parent, as a father, and as a man. And so my hat goes off to them, man, because it's one of those things where I learned just as much from them as they learned from me.
I had 3 boys in 3 years, Sam, Dan, and Tim. They're a little older than yours, but one thing that I learned was you got to say you're sorry to them when you screw up.
Yeah.
You really, it's important to own that, because you flip out. You're like,
Well,
I'm not wired for 3 kids in 3 years. Sorry,
that's the thing, and I tell them all the time, right? Like, Dad's not perfect, and I don't want them to walk around acting like they have to be perfect, and like, life is about growing. It's about growth, and so we'll make mistakes together, and we'll learn from them, and we'll continue being the best version of ourselves every day. And that's the love of raising 3 boys, man, because they appreciate that their father is honest with them and things like that, and and that's, I just love them boys, man.
Yeah, it's great. Could you live off the land if you had to? You could plop down in the middle of the wilderness?
Yeah, for sure, 100%. You wanna know why?
Why?
I got a guy named Will Campbell. He kills everything. He kills everything. I'll just bring Will out, man. Come on, Will, let's go kill some stuff.
Oh, okay, well then you at least need some survivalist skills taught to you. Maybe you guys should have an orienteering.
Exactly.
thing. All right, you're gonna like this one. I just came up with this, never had this before.
Okay.
Stick, box, or rock, which would have entertained you the longest when you were a kid?
I mean, I grew up in the era of Power Rangers and stuff, right? So I would say the stick, right? Because I can go out there and fight trees and stuff, man. Blue Ranger,
Just
go,
don't break
you break it, you mad, man. You're dying out there. I would say stick, man. I would say stick for sure.
Box, I mean, you could robot around for a while.
Well, what box am I gonna fit in, man? As a freshman in high school, I was 6'4", 265, man. What kind of box was I gonna fit in?
That's a good point by you. Not even a refrigerator. Do you play an instrument, my friend?
I do. I grew up playing the drums.
Did you?
Yeah, come on,
Still do
man.
it?
Like Questlove.
Who's your favorite drummer?
Ooh, I would say Aaron Spears.
From?
You got to look him up, man. There's a lot of good drummers, man.
SPEARS?
Yeah.
I'm a Stuart Copeland guy.
Okay.
You know?
Come on, man. I'm well versed in my music, man.
I shouldn't
I
underestimate.
do a little DJ too. Wicked. Ooh. If y'all ever need a DJ for the birthday parties, I got y'all.
You want to do this next week too? Scariest movie you've ever seen?
Ooh, scariest movie. There's a lot of good scary movies, man. I'm really not a scary movie guy for multiple reasons. But I would say I like Black Phone. You ever seen that?
Black Phone?
Yeah.
No.
There's a second one coming out. I think it's coming out next month. You got to go watch it.
Black Phone 2, the
yeah,
sequel?
Yeah.
Huh.
I can't tell you about it because you got to go see it yourself.
I will.
You got to go see it yourself.
Funny, I asked
You got to take your wife with you so you can hold her tight, you know? When you get scared, she's going to think like, oh, he's just loving up on me, just inside, you know? You got to play it off. You got to play it off.
She's a teacher. You know, if I sit her down in a movie theater, she's going to... Hopefully she's not watching. This is my favorite portion of the program. It's, hey, what's your number? You win number 76. Would that be the number that you would choose if you could have any number? And why would you like 76?
76 was my first number in the NFL. I have a huge tattoo on my back of it, a whole mural. But yeah, you know, obviously it was a number that was given to me when I got drafted, and I just ran with it, man. Like, you know, everybody was like, 76, that's an ugly number, man. Like, I think I wear it well, you know? But I would say 76, man. But I would say I wore 78 as well. That was for my dad that passed a couple of years ago. And I was blessed to wear that as well, just to carry the lineage. He played a little bit of football back in his day. So yeah, 76 and 78.
Good deal. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I have one more question. I know the answer is going to be no. Does anybody ever call you Morgie? Hey, Morgie.
Why'd you have to do that, bro?
Somebody calls you Morgie.
I have an aunt that made a whole song when I was young, and like I'm still like traumatized by it, bro. Still traumatized. You can see it in my face right now. The camera's rolling. I'm not trying to look at the camera, but it went a little bit like this. Morgie, put in pie, kissed the girls and made them cry. I'm out. Bye.